How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about just your opportunities for enjoyment and freedom overall when you stop drinking alcohol. I did a video when I was a month away from alcohol. If you go back to Alcohol Mastery, you'll see this one. I think it was in January 31st, 2013 I did this video, and it was about enjoying your moments once you're alcohol freed. And of course I was coming from a different perspective, right? I'm only a month away from alcohol. I'm still in that alcohol mind frame, you know. But it's still the same, you know, a very similar sort of a way of looking at, you know, how you progress forwards, how you get forwards in your life without alcohol. You know, I hear so many people speaking about this from the perspective of they can't find a way out. You know, they can't find a way sort of to push themselves or to pull themselves or to extricate themselves from the life that they used to live, you know, to stretch that elastic band holding you back to that old way of thinking so that you're capable of moving on with your own life. Now, you know, this is a choice. It's something that you have to do for yourself. You know, nobody else is going to do this for you. You have to decide yourself that you're going to make the conscious decision to start enjoying yourself, or, you know, or not enjoying yourself, and, you know, doing nothing and, you know, festering in your old life. That's still a choice that you're going to do. You know, you have to think about ways that you're going to replace things with. Do you get what I mean? You know, you have to find things to enjoy or not. You know, find things or fester. That's basically it, and both of those things are your choice. You know, it all stems from the basis of you're going to say no to alcohol, right? And you're going to keep saying no to alcohol until you don't think about alcohol anymore, right? And once you get to that stage where you're not thinking about alcohol, I mean, obviously then it's a lot easier to do, but you have to move into a position where you can do that. You have to deliberately move into that position mentally, you know, by reason. You can't do it if you don't reason your way out of it. You know, if you keep going by your feelings and you keep saying to yourself, well, you know, these are the things that are, you know, this is the way I feel about things, this is the way I feel about alcohol, this is the way I feel about my old alcohol life, then nothing's going to change for you, at least not very quickly. You know, it's, you are the one that's responsible, right? You are the one that you have to rely on. You know, you can't pass the buck to anything else or anyone else. You can't pass the buck to God, or you can't pass the buck to the group. It's all down to you. When you pass the buck and you say to yourself, well, it's down to God, you know, I'm powerless myself, and I have to pass pass that stanchion to something outside of myself, whether it is to God or the higher power, the group, as they say, right? It's still passing it to somebody else. It's passing the responsibility to somebody else, and the only thing that does for you is to reduce your own self-esteem, right? To push your own self-confidence down, to push your own abilities down, and that lasts in the long term. You can never get that back, you know, because as long as you rely on the group to stop you from drinking, you need the group. You need to keep going to the group. You need to keep going outside of yourself for something that is inside of yourself, right? You know, you've got to be committed, as I say, to yourself, to have that personal responsibility. In my way of doing things. Now, I'm not saying that you can't stop drinking by depending on the group. You know, you can go outside of yourself and say to yourself, well, you know, this is the group that is stopping me from drinking. It stopped me from drinking for 10 years. It stopped me from drinking for 20 years or 30 years. Or it stopped me from drinking for 50 years. It doesn't make any difference, because you're still dependent on the group for everything else then, you know, and you're still attached to the old alcohol life, because, you know, it's like the only way to truly move forwards for yourself is to say to yourself, well, look, nothing else is going to stop me from not drinking alcohol. Nothing else is going to force me to quit drinking alcohol except myself. You know, I can have other people and they say to me, well, you know, you should do it, or other people saying that alcohol is bad for you, or other people saying that alcohol is the demon, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. No matter where you go, you are the one that has to, first of all, make the decision to not do it. And secondly, and most importantly, you have to make the action. You know, don't do this, you know, don't put it into your mouth, don't swallow it. You have to do this over and over again. And it's also your responsibility to change your life afterwards, and to say to yourself, you know, to think about the reasons why you were drinking in the first place, and go back and keep thinking about those reasons until those reasons don't, you know, they don't matter anymore. The alcohol doesn't matter anymore. You know, you've moved on from the alcohol. You know, I could go on about this for hours. So I'm just saying that in order to get to that place where you're enjoying life, you've got to move out of the place that you are. You've got to move out of the old-fashioned ideas that you're an alcoholic, or, you know, alcohol has got anything to do with a good life, or alcohol needs to be there to be enjoyed. You know, you get away from that because it's not happening. You know, a lot of people are saying now, well, yeah, I've got to drink because of what's happening in the world now. You know, it's bullshit. You know, this should be an opportunity to say to yourself, right, what can I do for myself now? How can I sort of step outside of myself? How can I step outside of that life that I used to live? I've got the opportunity now to really think about things and put my own reason into it, and to say, right, what am I going to do? But people are not. They're thinking in terms of their emotions are up here and their thinking is down here. So their emotions are ruling everything else, and you can't allow that in your life. You have to have the opposite way around. Your reason first, then your emotions, and your reason should always override your emotions. And if you do that, even in a situation like this, you know, you're gonna come out on top. So I'm gonna leave it there for today. Take care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth. If you want my help to stop drinking alcohol, there is a link down below to an ebook, 10 steps to stop drinking alcohol. It's absolutely free, no charge, no credit card, no nothing. Go and download it, click on the link. But you have to open it, and you have to say to yourself, right, now I'm going to apply the principles in this book, right? You know, it's not a long book, it's only a short book, so have a read through it, and it'll eventually at least get you to that spot where you're able to stop drinking alcohol with a bit of reason attached to it. So take care, I'll speak to you again soon, onwards and upwards, bye now.